everybody, my name is Holly Mueller, and today I'm going to be going over electrical and computer engineering for the Elmore Family School of Electrical and Computer Engineering. We are going to begin with talking a little bit about our faculty. So if you'll take a look at the screen, we have Scott Sudhoff, who is our Associate Head of Undergraduate Programs. We have Angela Rainwater, who is the Associate Director of Undergraduate Advising. She is someone that you will see very much during your time here in ECE, and you will see her during your sophomore seminar. Cindy Quillen is our Associate Director of Undergraduate Advising, and she is someone that you'll get familiar with if you are interested in study abroad. You have Oshang Wang, who is our Senior Academic Advisor. He is also in charge of scholarships. We have Jamie Sadiq, who is a Senior Academic Advisor and is someone that you will associate with if you're an international student that is looking to do internships, or if you are doing co-ops. We have Emma Montes, who is our Administrative Assistant. Alongside that, we have a lovely collection of other academic advisors. There is Constance Galando, Tatiana Jordan, Ben Kiggins, myself, Andrea Tenner, and Jennifer Dexter. Let's talk a little bit about the areas within computer and electrical engineering. Automatic control is something that you may be interested in if you have done robotics in high school. We have the field and optics area that works a little bit more with lasers. You have your microelectronics and nanotechnology. You also have power and energy systems. That is more on the electrical engineering side. On the computer engineering side, you'll see a little bit more with communications, networking, signals. You will see a little bit more when it comes to artificial intelligence in this area, and you'll see a little bit more with your VLSI and your circuit design. You may ask, don't these things have things in common between electrical and computer engineering? And yes, they do. They have quite a bit in common. So when you look at it, application software and a lot more of your software classes are going to be more towards the computer engineering side of things. But when it comes to some of the theoretical sides of computer and electrical engineering, and when it comes a little bit more towards your circuits and things of that variety, it's going to be a little bit more towards electrical. But you will see that there are many different areas of overlap, and you'll find that some students that start off either in computer or electrical engineering end up swapping over to the other subject matter when they find that they have a little bit more in common. This is somewhat typical for our ECE students. So if you find that you come over and you decide you want to do electrical instead of computer or computer instead of electrical, it is as easy as actually talking to those academic advisors that we looked at earlier. So let's talk a little bit more about a couple of opportunities that you have within ECE. First one that I would like to talk about are concentrations. If you are doing computer engineering, you have 16 credits of electives that you kind of get to choose what you want to do or what you want to specialize in. Some students have an area that they're really interested in. Other students, well, they're kind of learning at this point what is more interesting to them. For our electrical engineering students, we have 18 credits because you have one less required class than our computer engineering students, which is kind of great because there are some opportunities for concentrations that you can go after as well. So when it comes to these concentrations, AI is going to come right back up again alongside machine learning. You're going to have your automatic controls. You're going to have your electrical power and energy systems. And then you're also going to have microelectronics and semiconductors. We have a wonderful summer program if you are interested in semiconductors that you can talk to your academic advisor about. Quantum technology is an area that some of our students find themselves interested in, as well as wireless and optical engineering. You may like a couple of these offhand, and you will find some of the classes actually do overlap. So if you have an interest in concentrations and you're an electrical engineer, definitely take a look, maybe talk to an advisor a little bit about what you're interested in. For our computer engineers, never fear, AI and machine learning is also available to you. You've got computer systems, your microelectronics and semiconductors as well. You have your software engineering. And that kind of brings me over to our 4+1 program. Now, the 4+1 program is just a very nice way of saying you can do your bachelor's degree and then immediately after polish off that master's degree and have a graduate degree when you're going to look for different job opportunities out there in the market. So as long as you meet our lovely criteria of just making sure that you have that 3.5 GPA when you apply, and you get through your sophomore classes with your ECE 20001 and 2002, then you have the opportunity to apply for them. If you want more details on this, definitely take a look at our website. We also have them listed here on the screen as well. The nice thing about the 4+1 program is it gives you the opportunity, if you are already knowing what areas that you're interested in, to get started on your master's degree and really start to consider graduate school and what you might do a little bit more towards research or academia in the future. All right, let's talk a little bit about our facilities and our additional opportunities that are available to you. So, we have a few buildings that we use here on campus. You will find the main offices for academic advising and for ECE in the Materials Science and Electrical Engineering building. We have the complete first floor that is available to us, including a design studio, which is lovely for studying in. You will find it right across the hall, conveniently from a Starbucks, if you are interested in that kind of thing. Alongside that, we have the Brown Family Hall of Electrical Engineering, which is right next door and has just been newly renovated with all kinds of new equipment in a lab, and that is thanks to the generosity of Thomas Duncan, who's the owner of the nearby Duncan Electric Company. Then we have Wang Hall that is right across the street. You will find that we have some spaces, a little bit more of your faculty offices will be located there. And then we have the Burke Nanotechnology Center, which is now going to be going through a renovation to have their labs and facilities updated as well, thanks to our wonderful donors. Now, the nice thing about the MSEE building that I talked about earlier and that design studio is you can see a little bit here in the top image. It is a wonderful place that you will find a lot of students studying in during the academic year, and more importantly, you will see certain events and things happen over the course of the semester. A big one that I like to highlight is the senior design projects. We have the Spark Challenge, where all of our seniors that have worked really hard on their designs and presentations will actually have them readily available so you can see some of the different projects, such as stringless harps, different AI projects, different apps that you can have on your mobile devices, and just a little bit of everything there. We also have the BHEE labs that are available to you to work on all kinds of different projects and have a little bit of space to kind of work on different things that you are interested in. Now, speaking of things that you're interested in, I know everyone has kind of heard a little bit about EPICS or VIP at this point in time, but if you are interested in doing research, EPICS and VIP are two wonderful opportunities that will get you in line and working with different individuals that are working on projects that are slowly moving the world forward. So if you are interested in doing research, definitely take a look at the EPICS and VIP. You will also find that you get the opportunity to do a little bit more of that during senior design as well. Our senior design options include the opportunity to work on a project that you put together with a group of individuals, or if you aren't really sure who you want to work with, then we also have a senior design option that allows you to get into a class with a handful of classmates and build your teams from there. So there are a few ways that you get a little bit more hands-on and get the opportunity to get some projects underway that are very helpful when it comes to the interview table. Alongside that, you will find that our SURF program is associated with summer undergraduate research. And it is basically a really nice way to get started. You get a stipend during that time, and you get to work with a mentor who introduces you a little bit more to subjects that you may not have had the opportunity to delve into while you were in your classes. We also have DURI program, which is designed to immerse undergraduates in interdisciplinary research at Discovery Park. And we have the Engineering Undergraduate Research Office. So if you find you're not really sure what you want to be doing, but you know you want to be doing research, Euro is a wonderful way to kind of get started and explore a little bit about what you're interested in. Moving along, I know I've mentioned a couple of these earlier when I was introducing you to staff members. Our co-ops are 3 or 5 session internships that you can go and you can get experience and also a little bit of income by working at a company or an industry that is related to your field. We have a wonderful co-op call-out night once, twice a year that introduces you to a lot of different individuals. And if you are interested in that kind of thing, I highly recommend that you reach out to our academic advisor, which would be Jamie, to talk a little bit about the different co-op opportunities that are available to you. Now, the co-ops, like I said, are 3 to 5 sessions where you will go back to that industry partner or that company partner and you'll work with them. It is a little bit different than internships where you can work once and you have a wonderful experience that you may or may not go back to. So internships are also available. We have students that do them during all times of the year, whether it is fall, spring, or summer. And you get quite a bit of experience. It may or may not be perfectly in the subject matter of electrical and computer engineering, but it is still wonderful skills that you gain over your time at Purdue. And then we also have study abroad, which is a wonderful way to gain some credits and see something in another country that you may not have experienced or seen before. We have wonderful experiences either during the Maymester or during certain times of the year, fall, spring, or summer. And our students tend to go to Switzerland, Singapore, Spain, the UK, and several other countries. If you're interested in this, I highly recommend giving Cindy Quillen a contact or stopping by the study abroad office to talk a little bit more about this. Moving on to future careers. We have many different companies that are interested in electrical and computer engineers. At this point in time, with technology going the way that it is and AI becoming a very large subject alongside many of the other subjects within electrical and computer engineering, it's very common to find electrical and computer engineers in a lot of different areas and in a lot of different companies. Whether or not they are primarily focused on electrical and computer engineering is a little bit besides the point. So you'll see here on our lovely screen, we have a collection of just all kinds of logos, and we have a nice little selection of top employers that we find a lot of our students go towards, including Amazon, Apple, Dell, General Motors, Google, Intel. There are all kinds of different companies that are looking for electrical and computer engineers, and it is thanks to our students and our alumni that we have all kinds of different opportunities that are available to us, whether it is the products or the services that we get, or it is just the opportunities for more of our students to join these companies. So you will find it is pretty easy to find a company that needs an electrical and computer engineer. The starting salaries, they sit about $80,000 to $100,000, but it may vary depending on the kinds of experiences that you decide to take up while you're at Purdue. So let's talk a little bit about getting involved and about the resources that are available to you. What's really important for any of our students that are here at Purdue is being able to find the help and the services that you need to help you be really successful for while you're here at Purdue and when you're looking forward towards the future. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about these resources. You'll find that ECE has a tutoring center for our core classes, so your ECE 2K1, 2K2 classes, your ECE 301, 302, or even your digital systems and other classes that you take. You will find we have a selection of tutors that you can meet with, and you can actually schedule a time to meet with them via Boiler Connect. We also have our ECE study tables. You can find students that are working on things in the design lab. We have the Academic Success Center and the Writing Lab. We also have the ECE shop, which you can get parts, whether it is for class or maybe for those personal projects that you're working on that might be related to ECE. We also have mentors that are readily available to chat with you at any time to talk a little bit more about the careers and the places that you want to go in the future. We have the Center of Career Opportunities, which is more than happy to chat with you about different opportunities that you would like to pursue in the future, or maybe you're not really sure if ECE is the right place for you. They can talk a little bit about what to expect when you're going into those interview opportunities, or at least help you a little bit with the resume and the cover letter that you have to complete in order to go towards those different opportunities. Alongside that, there is, of course, Industrial Roundtable. There is Boilermaker Circuit. Now, Boilermaker Circuit is basically Industrial Roundtable condensed just to the individual companies that are looking for electrical and computer engineers. A really nice thing that we like to recommend as advisors for our students is to look up some of the companies that will be both at Boilermaker Circuit and at Industrial Roundtables. So that way, when you're at Industrial Roundtable, some of those companies that may not be going to Boilermaker Circuit, you can at least meet with and have a little bit more time to meet with all of the companies that are associated with the ECE rather than just one or two. It's a really nice time management goal. Alongside that, we also have the Career Expo that is always available on campus. We also have some that are more associated towards mental health. There is, of course, Task Human. We have our CAPS offices with our different therapists, and of course, the Office of the Dean of Students. If you find that you are running into any emotional issues or issues that you find are just a little too personal, but they are getting in the way of your academics, it is very important and highly recommended that you look into both the CAPS offices on campus or ODOS to find some additional help and to help you get back on your feet. We have some really nice organizations that are available to you. Whether you are interested a little bit more in motorsports or you are interested in just working alongside some of your fellow students, you will find that we have ESES, that is the Student Society for Electrical and Engineering Students. You will find that we have our ECE ambassadors that help advocate for ECE. Or we have our Purdue Electric Racing, we have our women engineering organizations, whether it is the Society of Women Engineers or the Women in ECE. We also have the Society for Hispanic Professional Engineers and our National Society of Black Engineers. So let's go a little bit more into the facts and figures and talk a little bit about some of the alumni that we've had. So you'll find with our ECE school that we tend to stay towards the tops of the rankings, and although we may fluctuate in where our rank is precisely, you'll find we normally stay towards the top 10. Alongside that, we have several important and very well-known individuals that have graduated from our program. You'll find Mac Beatty, who was the corporate VP and the head of Xbox Game Studios. You had Don Thompson, who was former president and CEO of McDonald's. And then you had Boone Locke, who was the vice president of engineering in Google. All kinds of different individuals. What's really nice for ECE is we tend to have these individuals come back to campus either during the presidential lecture series or during personal visits to some of our different organizations to talk a little bit about what it means to be a part of ECE and to find your way into that next career path that you have in mind. Thank you so much for your time and for your patience. If you would like to learn a little bit more about ECE or explore some of the different opportunities that I've mentioned, there are some QR codes that are on the screen for you.